Hello YouTube, my name is Nero. Today we have some Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, and Raven Software may be trolling us yet again. So let me explain what's going on here. Amos Hodge, who of course is the lead designer for Raven Software, puts on Twitter, "I despise April Fools. You can't believe anything posted on the web." Then Raven Software, the official Raven Software handle, says, "Is your refrigerator running? Don't get fooled. Prop hunt coming to Modern Warfare Remastered on April 1st weekend," which of course is the coming weekend. That would be absolutely awesome. If you guys don't know what prop hunt is, it's basically like Slasher, like we had in the last weekend Warfare, except it's with actual objects in-game. Now, this was actually a mod for Call of Duty 4, which was actually quite popular a couple years ago when people were playing it quite a bit. Now, it's obviously available on lots of games, not just Call of Duty 4, but COD 4 prop hunt was popular a couple years ago, where basically you take control of various assets in the game and you basically play hide and seek. Sometimes you can be a car, other times you can be a lamp, other times you can be like a barrel or a palm tree or something like that. And then there's one person on the other team who's basically going throughout the map trying to figure out what exactly you are. And of course, all that footage was actually from Hutch. So that would be pretty awesome, right? I think it'd be a very fun and interesting game mode. I just wonder how they would actually go ahead and implement it. Let's say, for example, there are 12 people in the lobby. One person is the guy that's doing the seeking, everyone else is doing the hiding, but they're playing as various props. I feel as though it's going to be difficult to find absolutely everybody if every single map in the rotation is available. If we're talking about playing on Overgrown here, I don't think people are going to find all 11 people on that map, especially when you can make yourself a very small asset. Now, maybe what they're actually going to do is limit the assets you can actually be. Like, if I just want to make myself a piece of paper and lay myself in the corner somewhere, chances are they're not going to ever find me. I think we all ended up playing Slasher this past weekend, and we all saw how many of those games got very close to the time limit, and that's with an actual, in-game body running around and hiding in bushes and stuff like that. Like, can you imagine if we're talking about a barrel, or if we're talking about a piece of paper, or a car, or something like that? So we're going to have to see. If they do implement this, I imagine they would do it something along the lines of giving us like 10 or so different assets we can choose to play as, whether it's like, again, a lamp or a barrel or a car or a tree or so on and so forth, which would make it easier to actually find the people that are hiding. But still, I hope this is actually going to be coming to the game, because it's obvious that fans love playing these little mini games within the multiplayer, and we also love the fact that we can actually earn depot credits as well as XP while playing in these very fun game modes. What I decided to do for you guys is I went and recorded the player counts that we had last weekend while Slasher was actually active, and it's insane how popular Slasher actually was. So I recorded this in two separate instances. The first one is going to be late Sunday night on March 26th, and the other one is going to be early Monday morning on March 27th, which was at the very end of the event. Typically, when an event first starts, people flock to the brand new Weekend Warfare game mode to see what it's all about, but these were recorded at the end of the event when people were still playing it. So late Sunday night, Team Deathmatch had 24% of the overall Modern Warfare Remastered player count actually in that particular game mode. Slasher was 22%, Search and Destroy was 20%, Domination was 14%, Hardcore Team Deathmatch was 11%, Hardcore Search and Destroy was 7%, and every other game mode in the game accounted for only 2% of the overall player count. I suppose that's why I see so many repeat people when I play Ground War, because we're talking about 1 or 2% of the overall Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered player base actually playing in that particular game mode. Early Monday morning on March 27th, the numbers were a little bit different. Team Deathmatch went up to 28%, Slasher remained at 22%, Domination went up to 18%, Search and Destroy went down to 13%, Hardcore Team Deathmatch was 12%, Hardcore Search and Destroy was 7%, and everything else was roughly 1%. Everything else accounted for 100%, so I'm assuming everything else was roughly 1%. So it just goes to show that Slasher was ridiculously popular this weekend. It was regularly ahead of Domination, it was regularly ahead of Search and Destroy, and there were even times, I did not have it recorded, but people were tweeting me about it, letting me know that it was actually ahead of Team Deathmatch at some points this weekend, which, as you guys know, Team Deathmatch is the most popular game mode in Call of Duty history. So that just goes to show that Slasher was ridiculously popular. They need to bring that back, either as a public game mode or a playlist, or maybe update it or do something with it. Like, imagine if they were to put more time and effort into it. One, by perhaps removing some of the barriers, the invisible barriers they have on those maps while playing in that particular game mode to make it so we could get to more spots, or perhaps actually licensing out the actual Michael Myers brand like they did in Call of Duty Ghosts with the map fog, so the guy that's actually running around can actually be Michael Myers, because that was his name back in COD 4 when people were playing the game mode. There's a lot they can actually do with that, and I hope to see it come to the game as an actual playlist. And just looking at the data, it's so ridiculously popular, I feel as if they pretty much have to do it at this point. And then you look at the idea of Prop Hunt. If they do this well, Prop Hunt may actually just be as popular as Team Deathmatch, Search and Destroy, and Domination, just like Slasher was last weekend. And if it is popular enough, they need to make that an actual game mode in Modern Warfare Remastered as well, or at the very least, give us a private match option. Currently, even after the success of Slasher, there is no like pre-built game mode called Slasher that you can have in private matches, which you, of course, you can set that up by yourselves. That's what we did back in Call of Duty 4. We would set this stuff up in a private match by ourselves, but the stuff that they did for Slasher, like making it so the last guy automatically pulls out a knife, doesn't have a pistol, changing up the game a little bit by making it so pistol shots actually slow down Michael Myers, little things like that that they did with the Slasher game mode, you can't do that in a private match. You can't just set that up by yourselves. You're going to need to have Raven Software actually implement it as an official game mode. So hopefully they go ahead and do that. Hopefully Prop Hunt is going to be the Weekend Warfare this coming weekend. It could be a troll, right? It could be a joke. It is April Fool's weekend, so it could be a joke, but I'm just fingers crossed, man, because that sounds freaking awesome. If they were to really add that to console where people can actually play it and then put it in an official playlist in the actual multiplayer where we're earning depot credits as well as XP, that sounds freaking awesome. So hopefully that's actually going to happen. If not, hopefully they have something else cool planned for us this weekend. We're going to have to see how it plays out. But ladies and gentlemen, if there's one thing that's for sure, it's that Slasher was ridiculously popular last weekend, and it needs to become a public playlist at some point, preferably sooner rather than later. I hope you guys will enjoy this video. Let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section below, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.